Jai Hind cadets. I am PK Verma. Today I am with you. You all are with us under this lockdown situation, and you know what is the effect by this pandemic has so far been to the entire humanity. So under this situation, you have to cooperate. We have to just be with you, and the study should not get hampered. Therefore, we have decided to carry on the online classes. So, in this series, the first chapter of biology, that is crop production and management, will be taught by me, and the entire chapter, basically, the chapter that is in the NCRT book, will have to be covered by me. And I must say that you have to go through this video one time, two times, many times, so that it just get inside your brain permanently. And before examination, I must say, before examination, whatsoever the questions will be there in the term examination or final examination, I must assure that those questions will be covered from these videos. Therefore, it is my earnest request to go through this video very sincerely, and whatever the assignments are there as a homework I am giving you, you must make it in the notebook. Whenever the situation will get normalized, then I must see your notebooks date wise, and I will sign it also. You know that the notebook also carry some marks, so maintenance is very important, and good maintenance with a neat and clear handwriting should also be there. So, without wasting much time, we should start this chapter, that is crop production and management. And we will see the slide, and I will discuss as I used to discuss in the classroom in the same style. I will discuss so that your doubts and confusion should get clear. So, this is a good opportunity to get connected with you by online classes. So let us start the very first chapter, the crop production and management. Let's start. In the very beginning of this chapter, you will see the term agricultural practices. So I have already mentioned in NCRT page 1, that is when plants of the same kind are grown and cultivated at one place on a large scale, it is called a crop. So generally, the definition generally asked in the examination, and in the examination also you will see the question, what is crop? So crop production includes grains, cotton, tobacco, fruits, vegetables, nuts, and plants. Different crop grows best in different areas of the country. So we can say that crop producers, usually those farmers, usually work from sunrise to sunset during planting and harvesting season. So through this definition, or this paragraph, whatever I have explained to you is already given here with example. Crop of wheat means that all the plants grow in the field are that of wheat, means the same kind of crop. Generally, the definition must cover the same kind. If you are grown and cultivated in one place, then it will be called as a crop. Not like a garden. Garden does not having the crop. This is a different types of flowers, different types of that is plants we used to grow. So in the garden you cannot see you cannot say the crop. So if you want to see the crop, you have to go to the field, and you generally have seen already. So the definition we have already discussed. Now come to the next slide. Food crops such as fruits and vegetables are harvested for humans consumption. Grains such as corn, wheat and rice are the world's most popular food crops. Now, I generally in the classroom I also used to mention some of the new words with explanation, because new words nowadays, though it is not in the NCERT book, but we should know all these new words, because whenever you see the newspaper or notes written over the agriculture, crops, etc., there you will face certain problem. Therefore, on the examination point of view also, it is very important to know about the new words. So come to this new word, that is feed crops, forage crops. Now I am reading this feed crops, and then I will see whether there is any new words or not for you. Feed crops such as alfalfa. This is example of crops, alfalfa. It is a type of crop like grain, like rice, wheat. This is alfalfa. It is a crop harvested for livestock consumption. These crops contain nutrients that animals need to develop. They are grown in agricultural fields but can also be found in natural meadows and pastures. So I will see that a few new words are there for your better understanding of this paragraph. Now, the first new word you observe is the livestock. What is the meaning of livestock? Just remember, livestock means the animal. Simple one line meaning I am giving you, so that it can be there inside your brain for a longer period. So livestock means animals raised for sale and profit. The animals which we used to care for sale and profit. So this is livestock. And now next word is the meadows, natural meadows. You see the meadows. What is the meaning of meadows? Meadow means wide area of grassland. You have already seen the grassland in the wide areas, that is called meadows. And there is also one new word here, pastures. Pastures means a type of agricultural land used for grazing livestock. No, your type of agricultural land where the livestock, for the grazing livestock, the animals are allowed for grazing. Now, the feed crops, you have understood that feed crops such as alpha harvested for, I have given one example, so you must mention at least one example for livestock consumption. These crops contain nutrients, means alpha contains lots of nutrient, protein that animal need to develop. They are grown in agricultural fields but can also be found in natural meadows and pastures. Now come to the forage crops. What do you mean by forage? Forage means to search for food or other needs. That is, to search for food and other needs. That type of crops are important for livestock farming. Animals feed directly on forage such as grasses. So grasses are also in the demand, lots of demand. Animal used to search. Forages that are cut and fed to livestock while they are still fresh are called green chop. You have seen in our school ground also, few villagers used to come and they used to chop the green field, and they used to give it to the livestock. Alfalfa is proteinaceous. It means it contains lots of protein, so it is very important proteinaceous crop. So I have given a new example for you, because you know the grass is a popular crop fed to livestock as a green chop. Now on the next slide. In NCERT, when you see that I have discussed feed crops, forage crops, these are the additional informations But in NCRT, generally two important types of crops have been discussed here. That is Kharif crops and Rabi crops. That is very easy to know because you have already listened it in class 7 also. These crops which are sown in the rainy season, like paddy. Rabi crops, these crops are in the winter season. These are sown like wheat. So it is very common and everybody should know. Apart from these Kharif crops and Rabi crops, the cadets must have certain doubts about the what are the Jayad crops. So come to the Jayad crops. See the Jayad crops. These crops are grown on irrigated lands and do not have to wait for monsoons. Some examples of Jayad are the pumpkin, cucumber, bitter gourd. So yeah, now this is the season of pumpkin, the cucumber in the summer season. So the connection between the two changing season we used to grow because we don't leave the land barren. So these types of crops are grown. So these types of crops you have seen. Now the next slide, the basic practices of crop production, very very important. The first practice is the preparation of soil. Next is sowing. Next, adding manure and fertilizer. Next, irrigation. Next, protecting from weeds, harvesting, storage. Now the question is, why does the loosening of soil allow the roots to breathe easily? Many times I used to ask in the question, this question in the examination. Now, when you want to answer it properly, then you should have the basic practices of crop production in mind very clearly. Now, preparation of soil means what? It is the preparation of soil, it is the first step before growing a crop. You know, the very important task in agriculture that turn the soil loose. This allows the roots to penetrate deep into the soil. So, if you want to sow the seed, at first you have to prepare the soil. You have to just mix the soil, you have to turn the soil up and down, up, you have to remove the weed plant, so that the seedlings which will grow, the root should go inside the soil easily, otherwise the growth will be a stunted growth. So the loose soil allows, what allow the roots to breathe easily, na? As we breathe, roots also breathe. So preparation of soil is very very important. So I have also already discussed about the why does the loosening of soil allow the roots to breathe easily. Okay, but why does the soil need to be turned and loosened? Already discussed. What are crumbs? Crumbs, what are crumbs? You have seen the crumbs, the big stone like structure present in the field, and these big stone like structure the farmer used to make it a powder by beating it with their agricultural implements so that it should mixed uniformly in the ground. So these things has to be managed before sowing the seed. Now I have used the term agriculture implements. Then what are the agriculture implements? Generally you have seen this, that is the plough. This is being used since ancient times. The plough, the hoe, it is a very simple tool. Now in the next slide I will show you some pictures and you have to identify what are the names of those agricultural implements. Now see this cultivator also you have seen, but I will show you in the picture also what is the cultivator. See, I have also written in this nowadays ploughing is done by tractor driven cultivator. The cultivator is tractor driven nowadays. Means current situation is that you will see the cultivator. So we will show you. The first of all, my question is identify their names. What are the names? Which photo is of cultivator? Which is of hoe and other things? Now find out the names. Now come to the next slide. The selection of seeds. What is selection of seeds? You know that seeds, very important part of the crop production. If you purchase the seeds, that the seeds may, some seeds may be a damaged seeds, some seeds may be a good. So how to separate? It is not very feasible to separate by uh, selecting one by one. So what we used to do, I will show you by the picture, that take a glass and just drop the seeds that you have purchased from the market. Then you will see that the seeds which are floating over in the upper surface, these are the damaged seeds. So you just remove it, and those seeds which are settled at the bottom, these are the good one. So you will have to take the advantage of these good seeds in the crop production. Now sowing is the most important part of crop production. Before sowing, good quality seeds are selected. Now the question is, how can we separate good seeds and damaged seeds? I have already mentioned it. Now see the diagram, and this diagram will show you the picture that seed water testing. This is a simple seed water testing, and you can do it at home also. See the clear picture of the good seed and the bad or seeds. Na? These are the infected seeds, these are damaged seeds. These seeds contains holes in internal part, has already been eaten by insects. So these are the bad seeds. Now in the next slides, uh, during the sowing of the seed, we used to see that the seed should be sown by maintaining certain distances, because there is the competition of the nutrition from the soil. So if the roots grow, and if the plants which are very nearby or close, then their roots get entangled, and they will start fighting with each other for the nutrition. Therefore certain distance has to be maintained. But what to do in the field? Whether if you want to just sow a hectare of land, is it possible to maintain with the hand or manually the distance? Not possible. So nowadays the drill machine, that is seed drill machine, has already been in the market. See the drill machine, and you will get the clear picture then how in the market the seeds are sowed. See, one man is with the tractor. This is the just behind the tractor, the backside, there is the yellow colored box where you just put the seed, and these are connected with a pipe, and at the end of this pipe there is the machine that used to just bow the seed. It's just sow the seed inside the soil. Now see the picture. This is the picture of the manure, gobar khat. Now manure and fertilizer, this is very important part of the crop production and management. So if you are a farmer and if you don't know about the manure and fertilizer, then it becomes very difficult for that is in the farming process. So what is manure? The substances which are added to the soil in the form of nutrients in the healthy growth of plants are called the manure and the fertilizer. So the substances which are added to the soil to enrich the soil. Now what do you mean by manuring? What is manuring? You should take the help of the book NCERT, and there you will find the definition of manuring. So I hope you will see this. So I am leaving for you this definition. Oh, I have already given you. Manuring is a process of adding of natural or chemical sources of nutrients for the crop. Good. So no labor at all. You have to copy it and write down in the notebook. So natural sources of includes dead waste, plants, humans, animals excreta and other waste you have seen. You are seeing also in the picture. These are the animal excreta, dead waste. Okay. Now come to the next slide. The advantages of manure, very very important. What are the advantages of manure? Learn this advantage one by one. The organic manure is considered better than fertilizer. Why? Organic manure is in demand, but fertilizers are not in demand. You know that when we use fertilizer, these are man-made and these are made in the that is in the industry by the use of certain harmful chemicals also. And if you use the fertilizers in a large scale in your crop field, then what happens during the rainy season? These fertilizers get dissolved in the rainwater, and as the rainwater, the runoff water directly meets to the nearby pool, and then the pool, the pond, which has certain purpose, which is made for certain purpose, you will see that after some day the entire pond or pool is covered with the green grasses. This is called algal blooming. So this is the side effect of the manure, or that is fertilizer, not manure. There is a side effect. So this is also called eutrophication. So this is, so we should avoid using fertilizer, and we should use the manure, cow dung. So it enhances the water holding capacity of the soil. The manure, it's very important. If you are just adding water 1 day, 2 days, and you leave it for 3 4 days, the plant will not dry, and plant will also not die. So it makes the soil porous, due to which exchange of gases become easy. It's very important, because we have seen that in the breathing process, very important. It increases the number of friendly microbes. Very very important, because when you make the soil up and down, then what happens, the microbes which are present, which are very very important part of the crop production, because the rhizobium bacteria is also there in the soil, and other important nitrifying bacteria are there. Those bacteria are present in the soil, and they make the soil enriched, and the plant used to take the because plants are unable to take the nitrogen directly from the atmosphere, so they used to take the nitrate or nitrite from the soil. So these bacteria should be there, and their lifestyle should not be very hard. So what you have to do, you have to make the soil loose, so that they can breathe also, they can multiply in number. So if they are in large number, your soil will be highly nutritious for the plant. It improves the texture of the soil. So what are the differences between manure and fertilizer? You can easily see in the NCERT book. So I am leaving this question for you. Next question is, in summer the frequency of watering is higher. Why is it so? Could it be due to the increased rate of evaporation of water from the soil and the leaves? Yes, already it is the hint is already given, and the rate of evaporation, the transpiration rate is very very high. So if you leave the plant without watering during the summer season, especially when the heat is very very intense, then the plant may die. Next is already given the paragraph, the supply of water to crops at different intervals is irrigation, called irrigation. Now come to the point, irrigation. So irrigation, this very important part of the crop production, that is irrigation, water supply, regular water supply. If you are doing this is called the irrigation. So watering is a type of irrigation. Now see, that is how we can manage the irrigation process in a large scale and in a big field. So there are you can see in the diagram that some certain long pipe is attached, and at a certain interval of certain interval there is a plants also planted. And what are the use of these pipes? And in the third picture you see that the water is coming out in a spraying fashion. So you have seen this in our school also. The sprayer is there, sprinkler, it is called sprinkler, that can drop the water from a in a large distance without the help of the man. So it is a machine oriented modern method of irrigation. So modern method of irrigation, there are two important methods already discussed in the NCERT, and you should go through very very important part, that is in sprinkler system and the drip system. So sprinkler system and drip system, what is the sprinkler system and drip system? Now come to know about the sprinkler system. This system is more useful on the uneven land. I am just speaking a very important term, the uneven. This is that the land which is not even, समतल जो नहीं होता, that is uneven land where sufficient water is not available also. So in that land you can use the sprinkler system. But if your land is even, then why should you are going for the sprinkler system? Go directly to the drip system. So drip system is what? The water just directly go to the root drop by drop. So in the wastage term, water is wastage in case of sprinkler system, but water is preserved in case of drip irrigation system. So you have seen the differences between sprinkler system and drip system. Now come to the next slide. Protection from weeds. The very important. You know that the weeds are the challenging part to the farmer, because it is the unwanted growth in the field, and if these weeds are grown parallel to the uh, economical crop, then there will be the huge competition, and in that competition weed will win, because weed has the power to absorb the all important nutrients very fast. So these weeds should be removed, and we use weedicides. So removal of weeds is called weeding. The process is very important. Weeding is necessary since weeds compete with the crop plants for water, nutrients. Now give one example of weedicides. It is already written in the NCERT book also. You should also mention this example 2,4-D. This is the weedicides. And now very important question is for the health issues. Do weedicides have any effect on the person handling the weeding weedicide sprayer? That you have seen in the field that the person just keeping the weedicides chemicals at the back and they are spraying it in the field. Whether they have any harmful, these weedicides having any harmful effects in their health? Yes, already, because you are the very intelligent students, and you know that the spraying of weedicides may affect the health. So they should use these chemicals very carefully. They should cover their nose and mouth with a piece of cloth during spraying of these chemicals, because these are very harmful chemicals for the health, hands, eyes. Okay, so sometimes you should wear the glass also, sunglass also. Now harvesting very simple. Harvesting of a crop is an important task. The cutting of crop, manuring, that is called harvesting. So what is threshing? Also you have already learned this term in class 6 or 7 also. Now storage generally we used to store it in silos and granaries, and now see this picture in the NCERT book. Well, you will see that these are the storing. Now animal husbandry, final term it is animals husbandry. Animal husbandry means what? In the last paragraph of the NCERT you will see that animals reared at home or in the farm had to be provided with proper food, shelter and care. When this is done in a large scale, it is called animal husbandry. What are some examples of animal husbandry? Suppose that a question comes in the examinations, then the answer will be beekeeping, dog breeding, farming, horse breeding, pig farming, and raising cattle. So sheep farming also. So this is the examples of the animal husbandry. Now NCERT questions, exercise questions I am giving you for your assignment. Go through this very carefully, write it directly in your notebook. These are the questions, and these are very important in terms of the term examination. So these are the questions. Okay, finally the session has ended, and the chapter 1, I must declare, it is completed now. I will make another video for the chapter 2, microorganism, and you just go through that video carefully, make notes. Okay, see you again, bye.